weights, slider, and a resistance band today. Our primary things being the chair and the weights. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, start getting set up here. Give just another second in case anybody else pops in. If you have any questions for me, feel free to ask me now. You can chat me privately. Look at my laptop real quick so we don't die. Alrighty, everybody. We can go ahead, start making your way to your feet. Come to a standing position for me. Taking those feet out wide, about hip width distance apart. From here, deep inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Stretching up towards the ceiling. Exhale, take those hands back down. Again, deep inhale here. Exhale, hands come back down. We're gonna lace our hands behind our back, opening up our chest, squeezing our shoulder blades together. Try to actively press your hands away from your back. Opening up that chest, standing tall, deep inhale here. As we exhale, add a forward fold if you can. Soft bend in the knees. Option to stay in that standing position with those fingers laced together if that's better for you. Everyone go ahead, release those hands. Meet me in our forward fold, reaching down for our toes. Soft bend in the knees. Release our tension in our head, neck, and shoulders. Our gaze should be down between our legs. Option to grab your opposite elbow with your palm. Sway side to side. Adding some movement here. Loosening up our lower back, our hamstrings. Get to breathe here. If there's a soft bend to your knees, that's totally fine. Getting that lower body warm. Coming back towards center, take your hands to your hips, looking down at the ground, slowly rising up, one vertebrae at a time until we're back to standing. Once we're here, some shoulder rolls, backwards, forwards, rock the neck out, maybe do some circles with the neck. Everything here is your choice, listening to what your upper body, your neck need from you, maybe a couple arm swings, whatever you need to shake off the sleep from last night. There's no wrong answer here. Just loosening up that body. Back to our deep inhale here. Sweep the arms overhead. Grab that left wrist in our right hand, stretching out over to the right side. Pull that top shoulder back, look up towards the ceiling. Deep stretch on the right side, the left side of our body. Bring it back towards center, switch your grip. Other side this time. Pull that top shoulder back, look up towards the ceiling. Deep stretch on the right side of our body. Bring it back towards center. Release the hands, swan diving down, reaching for those toes. Then start to walk your hands or your feet away from center, meeting in our very first plank of the day. All right, once we're here, shoulders line up with our palms, soft bend in the elbows, tuck those hips up and in, squeeze the inner thighs together, squeeze the glutes, heels lifted, untuck that chin for me. We move to mountain climbers in 3, 2, and 1. Bring that right knee up to the center of your chest, press it back out. Followed by the left, press it back out. These can be fast, these can be slow. Option to add a twist, taking that right knee to your left elbow, left knee to the right elbow. Make sure our shoulders stay over our palms. Keep breathing, untuck that chin. Melissa just added the playlist for you in the chat if you would like it. Back to our static hold here in 3, 2, and 1. Just holding here in our plank, press into your palms and those hips up towards the ceiling. Find our downward facing dog. Once we're here, start to pedal out the feet. Actively pressing into the hands, create some separation with our shoulders. Loosening up both our calves and our hamstrings. Keep it going. Feeling this move. Doing whatever feels comfortable for your body. Couple more seconds here. Start to walk your hands or your feet back towards center. Meeting in the middle, facing down towards the ground. Hands come to our hips. Slowly rising up, one vertebrae at a time. Once we're back to standing, one more deep inhale. Sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, Take those hands back down. All right, let's get started. We just need our sliders for this opening block. Melissa, make sure you have a band, weights, sliders, and a chair. So take your time getting there. All right, everybody. Everyone else, grab those sliders if you have them. 1 foot on each slider, and meet me in a plank on our forearms. Alrighty. Planking here on our forearms. This time our shoulders line up with our elbows. Untuck that chin, core engaged, tuck those hips up and in. 1 foot on each slider. From here, press into your forearms. Send your chest a couple inches away from your elbows. Find a hold, max point of tension. Exhale, drag it back forward. We're into our saw. So inhale, slide away. Exhale, drag it back forward. If you have those sliders and that's a little bit much for your toes or your upper body, take those sliders, put your knees on them, round our lower back, dragging those sliders in, then press them back out into our kneeling plank. But if you can, stay up on those toes. We're finding a hold here. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just static hold here in your plank, wherever you are. We're moving to up downs. Press up to one palm, followed by the other. Back down to your forearm, followed by the other. Alternate which hand comes up each time and which forearm comes down. Keep it going. Feel free to ditch those sliders on your feet. Just kick them away from you if they're adding a little bit too much challenge. Great job. 10 more seconds here. Then we're meeting for a side plank in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those knees down to the ground. Rotate over onto your right side. Forearm comes down to the ground. Shoulder lines up with your elbow. Pressing up onto your toes. Side plank here. All right. Once we're here, option to come down to those knees. Press those hips up a little bit higher, but if you can, on those toes, top arm comes up. Hip dips for me, pressing those hips up an inch and back down. Up an inch and back down. Make sure we're actually pressing into that forearm, not letting the shoulder collapse in towards the ear. We're gonna feel this in our obliques, that bottom oblique working with each rep. We have about 10 more seconds here. Repping it out. Then we're gonna come back forward, planking on our palms in 3, 2, and 1. Knees come down. Rotate back over for me. Option to be on the knees or on the toes, but your palms are down on the ground. All right, little combo move here. Push up, bend the elbows, chest comes down towards the ground, press back up. Then give me a shoulder tap, one on each side. Then back to our push-up. If you can, those push-ups can be on your knees, but press back up to your toes. Give me a shoulder tap on each side, trying to minimize the sway of our hips. The more that we engage our core, the more stability we'll get with each rep. Challenge yourself too, if you can, making those push-ups on your toes. We're moving through it, I promise. We're gonna find a hold in our plank up on those toes. In about 5 seconds, we're there. In 3, 2, and 1. Back up onto our palms on those toes. We're gonna find another side of mountain climbers here, this time a little bit faster. So everyone find your mountain climbers, bringing your knees to your chest. This time picking up the speed a little bit. Make sure our chin is untucked. We are still breathing, working our core. 15 more seconds here, finishing it out. Then we're gonna come back down to our knees, side plank on the other side. We're there. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees come down. Meet me on our left side. Left forearm comes down. Shoulder lining up with our elbow, pressing up into our side plank here, either on your toes or on your knees. If you're on your knees, hips up a little bit higher. From here, top arm up towards the ceiling, hip dips toward me. Pressing up an inch and back down. Up an inch and back down. Staying in control here. This range of motion is pretty small, You're gonna feel it in that oblique with just that small range of motion. Great job. About 10 more seconds here. We're gonna rotate back over to a forearm plank to finish out our opening core block. In 3, 2, and 1. Back forward. Forearm plank this time. No props needed. Shoulder lining up with our elbows. Hip tips, side to side. Locking our hips to each side. Working both obliques this time. Untuck that chin for me. Keep breathing. Core engage. Make sure the motions are slow and in control. We don't want to move too quickly. Stay in control of each rep. We have 10 more seconds here. Finishing out this opening core block. Almost there. Last 3, 2, and 1. Bring your knees down to the ground. Sit back on those heels. Stretch those arms out in front of you. Whew. Great job. Way to push through that. Opening core block done. We are now moving in towards our lower body block. You can put the weights and sliders off the side. We need our chair and then our resistance band for one move at the end. So everyone meet me up on your feet. Grab that chair if you have it. And let's get adjusted. All right. So we're gonna do 2 moves with our chair today, making sure everybody can see me. All right, our first one is called a Bulgarian split squat. So we're gonna walk our right foot forward. Our left foot is going to come back onto the chair. Hop that front foot forward a little bit so you have your stability. Our goal here with this one, as we squat down, is this back leg is bending just like the front leg, and we're pressing back up. It's not a lunge where that back leg is straight. This is not what we want. I want it to walk that front foot back in. Both legs are bending, making sure that front knee is in line with our ankle, and press back up into the front heel. Keep it going. Make sure our hips and our shoulders are square, looking forward, 45-degree angle with that upper body. Inhale as we bend down, both knees bending. Exhale, press up into that front heel. I know the positioning on this one's a little bit challenging, making sure that back leg is bending. Take your time to get adjusted. Making sure both knees are working here. Great job, Kate, great form. Really important thing though, that front leg. Do not let that knee come over the foot. If it's doing that, hop that front foot forward a little bit, get adjusted. In about 10 seconds, we're gonna find a hold at the bottom of our move. Finishing out these last full range of motion reps here. Hold at the bottom in 3, 2, and 1. Holding here at the bottom of our split squat. All right, here's our variation. We're gonna rise up for 1, down for 3, 2, 1, back up for 1, down for 3, 2, 1, back up for 1, 3 more, down for 3, 2, 1, back up for 1, 2 more, down for 3, 2, 1, back up for 1, last one, down for 3, 2, 1, back up for 1. One more hold, lowering down for me. 10 seconds here in our split squat hold. Back to standing in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press up, drop the legs, shake it out. Whew. Way to stick with me. All right. Keeping that chair in place, turning to face me now. We're gonna put that left leg back up, but this time our toes are pointing forward. We're moving into a single leg squat with this one leg elevated. So walk your right foot out a little bit because we're gonna squat into it. Again, making sure that our knees above our ankle. Exhale as we press up into our heel. Alrighty, so adjust that foot if you need to. Left leg extended on that chair. Bending just into that right knee. Back to standing. Again, 45-degree angle of that upper body. Proper spinal alignment from our head through our tailbone with each rep. We are digging into this one single leg, working our right leg to fatigue. Make sure the weight's in our heel. You should feel it both in your glute and in your quad. One may be feeling a little bit more than the other, depending on whether you're quad dominant or glute dominant, whatever it may be. In 10 seconds, we're gonna find a hold at the bottom of this move. Finishing out these last full range of motion reps. Hold in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding it down here. You have that hinge forward. Our toes are aligned. Despite being on different surfaces, our hips are square. Weights in your heel. Back to our hold. In 3, 2, and 1. Holding it down. One more set of full range of motion, just 15 seconds. In 3, 2, and 1. Back up. Take a second. Get back into it. Just 15 seconds of full range of motion left. Sinking into that right leg. That left leg propped up on that chair. Already past halfway. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, come back up. Drop the leg from the chair. Shake out those legs, those glutes. I know they're working really hard. Great job. Alrighty. So keep that chair off to the side. We're gonna use it one more time. We're moving to a little bit of a body weight move this time. So everybody meet me in a plank on our palms. I promise we're not planking this entire time, just our starting move. All right, so from here, we're gonna hop our feet forward into a low squat position. Our hands come up off the ground. Bring them back down, hop them away from you, back into your plank. Bring it back forward. If the hop's not good for you, just walk or step your feet out and back in. Whatever feels best for you, you can remove those plyometrics. But the goal here is stay in that low squat position the entire time. We're never fully rising up from it. Don't have to be super fast moves. Just stay in that low squat position here. Don't forget to breathe. Great job, Susan. In 10 seconds, we're gonna find a hold in our squat. Great job, Olivia. Sticking with it. Finding a squat hold here. In 3, 2, and 1. Finding our squat here. Make sure you walk your feet out, adjust if you need to, about hip width distance apart. Full range of motion squats here. Come to standing. Inhales, we lower down. Exhales, we press back up. Work that full range of motion squat here. Weights in your heels. Upper body hinges forward as we sit back in a chair. Knee in line with our ankles. Weights in our heels. Butts coming back down behind us. Pressing up into our heels. Great job. Keep working that full range of motion. We're gonna have a hold back in our squat here in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Find that squat hold again. This time, pulsing it out. Stay in that working zone. Make sure you have that hinge forward. That little bounce is coming from our legs. Breathing through it. We have about 5 more seconds here. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, press up, standing position. Shake out our legs. All right, now grab that chair again. End our band. One quick set here of hip abductors. Alrighty, so once you have your band, slide it over your legs. Bring it up above the knee. Alrighty, then in your chair, come sit on the edge of it. Make sure we're sitting up tall, shoulders in line with our hips. Walk those legs out to about hip width distance apart. Your hands can be wherever they need to be. From here, press those knees away from each other. Bring it back in. Exhale, press them out. Inhale, bring it back in. When we bring it back in, our legs are stopping basically right where they started. That squat hold, knees lining up with our hips. We're pressing our legs out in opposite directions, taking them wide, bringing it back in. We're gonna cycle through our variation twice here. Holding it out in 3, 2, and 1. Holding those legs out in opposite directions. Max point of tension, pulsing it out. Stay in that working zone. I know you're feeling it, trust me. In those glutes and those outer quads. Back to our full range of motion in 3, 2, and 1. Back to full range of motion here. Exhale as those knees go in opposite directions. Inhale, bring them back in. We're just cycling that variation one more time, that hold and those pulses, and we are done with block number 1 for our lower body. Hold in 3, 2, and 1. Hold those knees out wide, pulsing it out. Stay in that working zone. We're here for 10 seconds. Even I'm feeling it. Breathing through. We can do this together. Last 3, 2, and 1. Bring those legs in. Relax them. Drop the band away from us. Great job. Alrighty, toss that band off to the side. We'll use it again later for lower body block number 2, but for now, we are done with it. Okay, moving into our upper body blocks, we'll need the chair and our weights. So have those weights with you, starting off with our chair. So as I mentioned before in warm-up, I'm gonna give you some challenging moves. We're focusing on our push-ups today. Give yourself a couple seconds to work those moves. I know they're challenging. When your body starts to fatigue and you can no longer do it, feel free to modify to knee push-ups on the ground, regular push-ups, whatever it may be, but challenge yourself here. All right, so starting off with an elevated push-up with that chair. Palms come down, walk your feet out and away from you, shoulders lining up with our palms. Bend the elbows, chest comes down, exhale, press back up. We've seen these push-ups before. Challenging yourself here. Make sure our chin is untucked. Connecting your breath to your movement is going to make it easier for you. Inhale as we lower in. Exhale, press into the palms. Chest goes away from the chair. We're not here for very long. If you need a break, just hold that plank on our chair. About 20 more seconds here. Pushing through. More seconds. I know we're fatiguing those upper body, your arms. We're going to feel your shoulder blades squeeze together as we lower down. Great job, Ellen. Don't give up now. Last 3, 2, and 1. Back to standing. Shake out those arms. Keep your chair close, but pick up those weights. All right, we're going to do a couple different series here. Some of you may have seen this before. If you are right-handed, we're gonna find that boxing stance, that left foot forward, right foot back. If you are left-handed, the other direction. Little twist of the body, right foot forward, left foot back. Moving into a jab, cross with our weights. As you punch forward, our hands rotate down, bring it back in. Jab, cross with those weights. Add a little bit of a hip rotation with our cross to rotate that body forward. Keep those arms elevated. We're going to cycle through a series here, starting with our jab cross. Then we're going to move to another arm exercise, back to jab cross, and then another variation. Take a break when you need to. We're going to cycle through this. Keep punching. We're going to take those arms out wide here in 3, 2, and 1. Everyone, arms out wide. Little circles with our arms. Making those circles in one direction. Go ahead, switch directions here. Goal here, keep those arms elevated, core engaged. The more your core is working, the easier this will be on your upper body. Back to our jab cross. In 3, 2, and 1. Lower those arms down. Back to our stance, find the jab cross. Make sure you're rotating your hips, core engaged. That core is packing the punch just as much as your upper body is. Stick with it. I know we're feeling that fatigue. We got this. 10 seconds. We're going to move into a lateral raise. Taking those arms out wide yet again. We're there. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Arms out wide this time. Inhale. Lower it down towards our quads. Exhale. Press it back up. Stopping when our hands line up with our shoulders. Inhale, bring it down. Exhale, back up. Make sure your shoulders are down and pulling away from your ears. Proud chest, Core engage your stance. Your feet should be about hip width distance apart. Soft bend in the knees. About 10 more seconds here. Then we're moving into our next challenge push-up move. We're there. In 3, 2, and 1. Finish out that last rep. Bring the weights down. Set them off to the side. Alrighty. Couple options here. If you're taking the challenge, follow me. If you want to repeat your elevated push-ups, stay just how we were. This time, reversing it. Feet up on the chair, hands on the ground. If you can, challenge yourself, just 3 to 5 push-ups, and then move on. All right, let's get it. Bend the elbows, chest coming down. Exhale, press back up. Again, just 3 to 5. If you can give me that, then we can drop those feet back down to the ground. Core engaged here. Work that core just as much as the upper body. Come on, Brandy, keep it going. We're here for about 15 more seconds total. Modify when you need to. Okay, you're killing it. Love the challenge. Keep it going. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Grab those weights. Back up onto our feet. Weights in hand again. All right. Same thing. Jab cross, different variations this time. Let's get back into it. Upper body endurance test today. Working that jab cross. A little bit different than what we normally do. I think this one's way more fun. Keep us moving, challenging ourselves here. Again, don't forget to add that hip rotation. Keep it going. About 10 seconds, we're gonna move to our bicep curl. We're gonna take those feet out. Even, toes lined up together. In 3, 2, and 1. Adjust your feet. Hips square, palms facing forward. Bicep curls. Stopping on the backs of your palms at the front of your thighs. Bringing those weights towards our shoulders. Elbows in as close to your ribs as possible. Kind of pin them in there. Use them as a guide. Exhale as you bring them up. Inhale as you lower it down. Great job. Back to our jab cross in about under 10 seconds. We're there in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hit that jab cross. Last time we're going to see our jab cross today. Finishing it out strong. Our next variation, we have hammer curls. Similar to bicep curls, just adjusting our hand positioning. Keep it going. About 10 more seconds here. Finishing out these last set of jab curls. Keep it going. Adjust our feet in 3, 2, and 1. Square off those hips again. This time, the weight's pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, bring them down. Our palms are facing in. Weights pointing up towards the ceiling. Bring them back down. Our hammer curls. Similar to bicep, just change of positioning here. Have about 10 more seconds here, finishing it out. Then we have one last body weight move. In 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, lower those weights down to the ground. Set them off to the side, and then meet me on the ground. Everyone bring your chest down, flat, hands in towards our shoulders. We have just 30 seconds here in this next move, our reverse push-up. Press into your palms, try to rise up to our plank, lower down all the way, chest comes back down. Take a second. Exhale, press up into your palms, try to get the entire body up in one motion. Our upper body likes to come up first, but as much as you can, try to get the entire body going at one time. Last set of push-ups we'll be doing today. Keep it going. Great job, Melissa. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sit back in a child's pose. Bring those knees down. Stretch out your arms. Lots of tough arm work today. but great effort from everyone here. Alrighty, coming back up onto our feet, keeping that chair with us. We have our lower body moves on the other side. So I'm adjusting my chair here so we're still facing each other. Starting off in our Bulgarian split squat. So our right leg was forward last time. Our left leg is forward this time. Right foot tucks back under. Tuck the toes. Adjust the front foot to where it needs to be. Square off the hips. Upper body hinges forward. 45-degree angle. Inhale. Lower down. Both knees bending here. Exhale, press up into that front heel. Adjust the front foot if need be. You want to make sure that front knee is not coming over the foot. Proper alignment. And that back knee is bending down towards the ground. It's not straight like a lunge normally would be. Checking form. Great job, Susan. Make sure we have that hinge forward, proper spinal alignment. Pressing into that heel to come back to standing. In about 10 seconds, we're going to find a hold at the bottom of this move. Working our legs to fatigue. That hold's coming up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding down here at the bottom of this move. Back to our 3-1 count. Rise up for 1, down for 3, 2, 1, back up for 1, down for 3, 2, 1, back up for 1. 3 more. Down for 3, 2, 1, back up for 1. 2 more. Down for 3, 2, 1, back up for 1. Last one. Down for 3, 2, 1, back up for 1. One more hold. Maybe at the bottom. Just 10 seconds. Back to standing. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up. Shake those legs out. Take a quick second. Even I'm feeling it. Whew. I did leg day 2 this week. Really feeling it. Alrighty. Single leg squat. That right leg up on the chair this time. Adjust our left foot. Making sure those toes are aligning despite their change in elevation. Hip square. Hinge the body forward. Leaning over that left leg. So bend the knee. Single leg squat. Exhale. Press back up. Our elevated leg. Staying stable. Soft bend in that knee. Toes pointing forwards. Movement's just coming in to that left side. Pressing up into our heel as we rise forward. Our range of motion here is going to be more limited than it would be with a double leg squat. You're not going to sink as low, but you're going to be feeling it because we're just isolating that one leg. Great effort. Love what I'm seeing. In about 5 seconds, holding at the bottom in 3, 2, and 1. Everyone meet me in a hold. Holding into our single leg squat, pulsing it out. Stay in that working zone here. Back to our hold in 3, 2, and 1. Last set of full range of motion, 15 seconds. Let's get it. Pressing back up. Keep it going. Inhale as we lower down. Exhale, press up. Just 15 seconds here, followed by one last hold. Last time we're going to be seeing this move for the day. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here at the bottom. Last time, I promise. Back to standing in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back up. Drop the leg. Whew. Shake it out. Great job. Okay. Back to our double leg squat. We're going to start off in our full range of motion this time. Take those feet out, hip a distance apart, weights in your heels, roll your shoulders back. Find your full range of motion squat. Inhale as we sit back. Exhale as we press up. Weights in your heels, upper body hinges forward. As we lower down, focus on sitting our glutes back in a chair. Not so much as lowering down, actively pressing our backside out behind us. Great job. Keep working that full range of motion. In 10 seconds, we're gonna find a hold in our squat. Last couple full range of motion reps here, about 2 to 3 more. Squat hold coming up. In 3, 2, and 1. Holding here in our squat. Drop one knee down to the ground, followed by the other. Back up, followed by the other. Stay in that low position. We're into our squat up downs, kind of like what we saw in our opening core block, but with that lower body. Alternating which leg drops down and back up. If that's not good for your knees at any point in time, stick in our pulse. Back to our squat hold here. In 3, 2, and 1. Back to our feet, squat hold. Find that full range of motion again. Should feel good. Incorporate that full range of motion. Back to a standing position, keeping that chest elevated. Setting those hips back and down behind us. Moving through a couple of variations here. Hold coming up again at the bottom. In 3, 2, and 1. Squat hold for me. This time, staying low, crab walks. Walking out side to side. This is our last variation here in this set. Directions when you need to, just sticking low. About 10 more seconds here. Finishing it out with one last hold. Holding in 3, 2, and 1. Sit down 1 inch lower for me. One last squat hold here. Back to standing. In 3, 2, and 1. Back up. Whew. Shake out the legs. Rotate that back. Alrighty. Grabbing that chair again. We have another set of hip abductors. The same variations here. We're working our glutes to fatigue. So grab that band, pulling it back up over our knees. Sitting on the edge of your chair, sitting up tall, taking those feet out about hip width distance apart, hands can be wherever they need to be. Then from here, exhale, press those knees in opposite directions. Inhale, bring it back in. Very small range of motion, but I want you to fight that resistance with each rep. That's part of the challenge here. Moving those legs when you have the resistance pulling you back in. Keep the core engaged. We're gonna find our hold here in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding it out, pulsing it out. Small little range of motion here, just pulsing. Stay in that working zone. Back to our full range of motion here in 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back in, take a second. Exhale, full range of motion. I know those glutes are feeling it. We're getting stronger with each rep. That's our goal. Breathing through it. We are almost there. Holding it out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding it out. Last set of pulses here. Pulsing out last time today. Just 10 more seconds here. Fight that burn, fight that fatigue. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back in. Bring those legs in. Whew. Dropping that band down. Tossing it off to the side. We are done with that band for the day. And get rid of that chair. We are finally done with it. Throwing it off to the side. We are moving into our last core block of the day. It's not a pyramid, don't worry. Toss those weights off to the side. We don't need any props. We're gonna cycle through this like we did in our first block, so stick with me. Grab a sip of water if you need it, and let's get into it. So starting off with a plank on our palms here, pressing up onto our toes. All right, from here, plank jacks, hopping those feet out in opposite directions and back in towards center. Just that lower body moving. If the hops are too much for you, just tap your feet out side to side. Just keep it moving. But if you can, get those hops going, both feet out and back in. Just like a jumping jack, but in our plank, back to our holds in 3, 2, and 1. Holding here at center in our plank. We're gonna press up into a downward facing dog, reaching our right hand back, tapping our left toes, come back forward. Other side, press your downward facing dog, left hand taps the right foot, come back forward. Alternating each time. Alternate hand, alternate toe tap, coming back to our plank after each one. Should feel good to move the spine here. Great job. How about 10 more seconds? Then we're going to rotate over onto our back. We're there. In 3, 2, and 1. Come back forward. Bring the knees down. Rotate over onto our back. Lying flat. Feet come up towards the ceiling. We have alternate toe touches. So right hand reaches for the left foot. Come back down. Left hand reaches for the right foot. Alternating each time. Working our core, keeping those legs elevated. Just the head, neck, and shoulders peeling up. Tapping the opposite foot each time. We're going to do this series twice, kind of substituting for our normal oblique work that we do. We have about 10 more seconds here. Then we're going to switch moves and we'll come right back to this. Finishing it out. Meet me in a seated position in 3, 2, and 1. Bring those legs down. We're going to hold a hover here. So sitting on our glutes, holding our feet up off the ground, hands on our knees, sort of like in a little ball. Then we're going to extend out, arms and legs going in opposite directions, holding in a hover off the ground. Exhale, bring it back towards center. Make that O again. These are called our X's and O's. So inhale, lower back down, holding our limbs in a hover. Exhale, bring it forward to that ball. Keep it going. If you know the pacing, let's get it. Goal here, keep those feet off the ground the entire time. Our core here. In about 10 seconds, we're going to hold in the center again, holding that O. We're there. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back towards center. Keeping those feet elevated. Russian twist. Tapping out side to side. Tapping on each side of our body. Keeping those feet elevated if you need to. Set those heels down. Keep it moving. Great job. Love what I'm seeing. Challenging our core. In 10 seconds, we're going to go back to our alternate toe touches. Feet up in the air. We're going to move through this pretty seamlessly. Keep it going. We're there. In 3, 2, and 1. Lying back. Feet up towards the ceiling. Toe touches here. Opposite hand, opposite foot. Try to straighten out those legs as much as possible. Great job. Have about 10, 15 more seconds here. Last time we're gonna see this move for the day. Our last move coming up. We're gonna meet in a forearm plank on our toes. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs come down. Last move coming up, rotate over. I promise we're almost there. Forearm plank on our toes. Shoulders lining up with our elbows. This one's called our elbow hinge. So we're gonna bend our elbows, hands, our chest coming over our hands, kind of holding in a hover, press back up into our plank. So inhale, chest comes down over our hands. Exhale, press it back up. Imagine your arms as sort of a mechanism, folding in and back out. Last move of the day. About 15 seconds left. Challenging yourself here. If you need a break, just hold that plank. Keep moving if you can. Under 10 seconds here. Almost there. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees down. Sit back on those heels. Stretching it out. Take a second, just sitting here. Whew. Way to power through that last core block of the day. Ready? Coming over onto your back. We're gonna start off on our back today for our cool down stretches. If another stretch is calling to you at any point in time, please take it. All right, if you're following me, we're on our back, holding our knees to our chest. Just start to draw some small circles on the ceiling with our knees. Massaging out the lower back, removing all tension from our core and our lower body. So it's directions for me. Drawing our circles the other direction. Allowing that breath to come back down to normal. One more circle here. Then we're gonna take our feet out wide up towards the ceiling, reaching our hands, wrapping them around the arches of our feet, pulling our knees in towards our shoulder. We're in our happy baby. Actively pressing your lower back down to the ground, pressing those knees in towards your shoulders. Feel free to rock side to side. Massaging out that lower back. This stretch should feel so good. Again, focusing on our breath. Deep inhales through our nose. Exhales through our mouth. Couple more seconds here. Finishing out your last couple rocks. Then take your feet together, bottom of your feet together. Hands wrap around your feet. Knees press out in opposite directions. We have our butterfly stretch here on our back. This should feel good for our inner thighs, our lower back. Holding our feet in towards our chest. Knees pressing out opposite directions. One more deep inhale here. As we exhale, release the feet, but stay in our lying down position. We're gonna find our figure four stretch while we're lying here. So cross the right ankle over the left knee, flexing the right foot. Weave your hands behind your left leg and pull that left leg in towards your chest. For our right leg, that's making that four shape. We're gonna actively press the knee away from us. You're gonna feel this in the outer glute, our quad. Should feel really good. A lot of quad and glute work today. Deep inhale here. As we exhale, sink a little bit lower. Pulling that knee a little bit closer to our chest. Slowly start to unwind. Other side this time. Left ankle crossing over the right knee. Weave the hands behind the right leg. Pulling that leg in towards our chest, keeping our left foot flexed. Pressing that knee away from us actively. Working into our glute and outer quad here on this side. You may feel that one side's a little bit tighter than the other. Pay attention to that. Make sure you stretch a little bit more after class today. If you're still feeling some of this tension, let's sink a little bit deeper into our stretch here. And start to slowly unravel. Knees come back to our chest, holding them here. Start to rock forward and backwards on that spine. Maybe about 5 to 7 times, just massaging it out. And then when you're ready, sitting forward for me. Alrighty. Extend those legs out in front of you. Keep them together, sitting up tall. Try to flatten those hamstrings down to the ground as much as possible. Deep inhale, sweep the arms overhead. As we exhale, forward fold over our legs, reaching for our toes, our shins, our knees, whatever our flexibility allows for. Try to actively pressing our chest down towards our shins. The goal here is to keep those hamstrings as flat on the ground as possible, actively pressing them down no matter what you're holding on your body. Deep inhale here. As we exhale, sink a little bit deeper. So good in the hamstrings. Start to slowly release and come back up to a seated position. Find a seated position that feels most comfortable for you. I'm going to cross my legs. We have 2 last deep inhales of class today here. So sitting up tall, legs crossed, roll your shoulders back. Feel free to close your eyes. Deep inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, take those hands back down. Last one here, make that last exhale pretty loud. Deep inhale. Let exhale through our mouth. Hands back down. Give yourselves a round of applause. Way to work today.